I think we got actually a pretty interesting clip show for you guys today because I did pull actually an extra 5 clips. Normally it's 10 clips. This week I pulled 15 clips. And, well, actually 2 of them are little teasers for our stuff. But anyhow, about the first 5 are from last season. Then we get into this season's riding because really it's already happening. So without further ado, let's go into the clip show. Here's our first clip. And I thought we'd start out with some powder. This is Jeremy Jensen from Grassroots Powder Surfing from Logan, Utah. But, man, no bindings, no problem here.
Dude, he's one of the pioneers, especially down in the lower 48 on the POW surfing. Jeremy's the OG up in Logan, and he just makes it look so fun. And he's kind of like Chad in the sense where he should be a GoPro A-team athlete because he's always got the GoPro. And I mean, look at how sick that POW turns, backside 3, no bindings.
Yeah. What do you think of that one, Chad?
Yeah, Jeremy, I shredded with him in Jackson 2 years ago. I think he's awesome. He actually shreds with Shirky. Shirky moved up to Logan. And it looks like he's using the GoPro 360, obviously, with his hand there.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty excited to actually get shots like that this winter because I just got the GoPro 360 all dialed throughout this last summer. Looks like he's going backwards on the POW surf there, too, which is a next-level technical move.
Yeah.
I rode his POW surf in Jackson a couple years ago. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, the cool thing is like just taking the bindings off makes every little thing seem that much more challenging.
Yeah, the full 360 is intense.
And for those that don't know, the listeners, POW surf, Grassroots, Jeremy's been developing these boards for, well over a decade now. So he shapes them. That's his business. And so he's definitely refined how they shred in the POW. And he's always out there on his sled just getting lapped.
Nice. Okay, let's go to the next clip. This is Zach Hale. And he's like doing like a backflip method, some kind of street location. Kind of cool shot. What do you guys think?
That was like a Wally back. I call it a hawk and flip. When you do a backflip method, well, let me double check. It looks kind of like a crippler method almost, if you put that into a hip landing. But yeah, Subject Hawkinson, Terry does backflip methods, so I call that the second hawk and flip in the streets.
I like that combo of bringing the airtime into the streets. And Zach's doing a really good style here. I think that's more front side on the crippler style right there. Maybe it's just the angle. But either way, it's super dope. Is that from Trash from his movie, or is that just a clip from this last season?
He just posted this on Instagram last week, and I just like the style. It's probably from Trash. It looks like last season. But anyhow, I just thought it was cool that he's kind of doing a nice air off of like a street obstacle. Kind of cool. So let's go to the next one. And this is Trill Smith. I think he's Australian, and he's going to do a little Wally backside 180 out.
I mean, his name's pretty awesome, Trill. It's like a southern rap or something like that from like 2 decades ago. Well, backside wall ride, I like that Jeremy Jones style. That's the scene.
Right. Is this kid Australian, I feel like?
I think he is.
I think with a name like Trill and a movie like Mates, it's got to be Australian, right? Mates.
Giveaways. Okay, mate. Super sick backside wallet, mate. 180 out. Oh, yeah, nailed it.
Good on you.
Let's celebrate with some Vegemite. What do you guys say?
Yeah, meat pies.
All right, next clip. Here we go. Oh, this is Alex Kolar. He's a Cardiff rider, but I just wanted to get some real blower pow in here, and this looks like blower pow to me.
There it is.
It's lifestyle tricks. Those are my favorite.
And if you notice, it's like side by side because he's filming the guy next to him riding in like just 2 feet of pow, but he's actually like keeping up with him and keeping him in frame. So that's actually, the filmer actually gets extra credit for this one.
Couple bros shredding pout. Doesn't get any better than that.
Right?
It's like that's the best trick in the book right there.
Looks like a storm day. I love it.
Yep. Okay, so here is our next clip. And this is Fridge. And Fridge kind of falls into that category like Renee. You just don't know what to expect. He's got some unique tricks, unique style. What do you make of this one, Chad?
We talked about this a little earlier. That's kind of almost like that Nicholas back five, but he over rotates, then pulls it back, and does a tail grab on it. But Fridge, he has a backpack on as well. So that's just a little more image there, I guess you could say. But yeah, he's another loose cannon. He's like one of those riders that's making it and not technically doing all the super triples and quadruples, but what he does is unique and different. So every time you watch Fridge ride, you get hyped.
Yep. What do you think, Bjorn?
The nollie initiation on this trick. It's almost like he almost missed the nollie, or maybe that's the angle, and then pops and lands at the complete bottom of the tranny. It's pretty cool. I have a hard time visualizing this, like the way he just brings it back under his feet. It looks really awkward, but he nails it. Like Chad said, unique style. It's always intriguing.
Yep.
Okay, here's the next clip. This is actually, now we're going to our in-season footage. And so this is Ryo Azawa from Japan. He's over in Sasfe at the Stomping Grounds Park. And this is just like a little kind of a few different clips of just him kind of riding around Sasfe.
I think that it looks like they're setting up the park features to be able to do different little side hits on it instead of just your standard launching donkey park jump, but which is kind of cool. And then he does a lip slide,
It's funny he does all this stuff. It's like the lip slide is the thing that got my attention out of all these tricks.
I'd say the lip slide was the coolest thing to me too. It just looked rad. There's how. But I'm wondering, is this like a new job for every team manager now? It's just got the GoPro on a pole and they just follow you around every lap? Because that's what it looks like to me.
Right, the gimbal demigods.
Right?
So now we're going to get into some action here at Sasfe. This is Mark McMorris. Check this one out.
Just frontside triple to mute then to tail grab with so much style and ease. I love how he makes that trick look like, Chatterai doing a frontside 720. He just does it, but it's a frontside triple cork and on a pretty small jump, like it was nothing. Kid's a G.
Yeah, if I'm watching Park, I'm watching Mark. It's the best. For sure.
Just
this clean stomp on this, it's just like effortless, just touches down. It's really good. Okay, here's the next one. This is Dusty Hendrickson. He's over there too. This is switch backside. Look at the stomp. Just effortless touchdown.
Dusty, well, he did at the U.S. Open last year. He did the back quad with a T-shirt on, and now he's getting switchback triples. So he's definitely one to watch as far as slopestyle contests come in the future. He seems like he did a bunch of cool tricks this summer too off knuckles, like little tail block slide to front flips, and pretty cool, unique, original stuff. And he's got the super spins on the park booters now, so he's one to watch.
Stompzilla on this trick too. Is he a Colorado guy, Dusty?
He's actually
Where?
North Carolina, I believe, originally.
Whoa.
yeah.
Well, future Olympian, just judging off of his Instagram right here.
Yeah, no doubt.
No, for sure, he's got potential.
Oh, yeah. And he's a young guy, too. So it's like him and Zeb both come from North Carolina. Go figure. Two of the strongest riders coming up today.
Crazy.
So here's the next one. This is Jan Shearer. And this is kind of a new trick, as it was claimed has never been done. Alley-oop double.
Switch alley-oop double, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
So alley-oop double back rodeo and perhaps mute and then tail.
Yep.
Chad's the judge, so he's like so good at knowing exact rotations. Like I have to watch it 3 times, and I'm like, oh, 1080. I was thinking it's like a 1260, but he just knows.
Yeah, we got to know 10, 12, 14, 16, like off the bat. But this trick kind of originated from Mike Michaelchuk, doing the little double backflip to fakie, and then I think George Oakley was the first person to do double back rodeo and come back in forward. Mm-hmm. And then now they're doing them switch 1080 on the other wall. So
yeah,
progression.
I mean, do you think this is going to open up the door to a bunch of new tricks? We haven't seen a lot of double alley-oops. Do you think we're going to see a lot more of that this year?
Yeah, I think that especially for last tricks in the pipe for competition, the double alley-oop rodeo, even frontside off your heels, not a lot of people are really doing. There's a lot of room for that, and I feel like that's a really cool last trick to do because it's a really hard trick to keep your speed on.
Yeah, in other words, you don't want to land that and have to do another hit 20 feet out afterwards because you might not have the speed.
Although if you look at Yan, he pretty much lands on the top foot of the tranny. It's just like nailed it on that one. I saw this on his gram too. What was cool is they showed a couple of his non-makes leading up to that.
Yep.
And I love it when you see that first.
Totally. You appreciate the agony defeat that went into that thrill of victory.
For sure.
Right.
Okay, here's another clip. This is Ayumu Hirano. He's taken 2 years off of riding. He hasn't really been in the scene since the 2018 Olympics, but he's back. And so I just thought this was kind of a cool clip of him,
What did you say? Dank?
Dink, I lost connection.
Oh. Frontside 5 court with the big old mute, like Japan tweak out in it. That's what I'm talking about. That unique, solid, making a 540 look dank, as Chad would put it.
Yeah.
That's Colorado terminology for you.
Legally changed his name to Dank, and we're like, yeah, it's probably a bad idea. But I think Ayuma's got some work ahead of him. You take 2 years off a half pipe, you're gonna have to put some work in to come back. Looking at riders like Scotty James and Jan, but
Yeah.
Ayumu, those guys have talent, so it could only take 6 months and they're back.
Yep. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about this because there's this other rider who, like, all these guys are doing 12s and 14s, 16s, some 18s even at the Sauce Fe. But then you got Kevin Backstrom, and then Kevin does something totally different. Check this out. Like, here's Kevin riding. He does like frontside 3s, backside 5s, straight airs, no grabs. What do you guys make of Kevin Backstrom's riding?
I like, he's got the Stormtrooper outfit, so it's very noticeable. He's got the hat. His base matches his outfit as well. Black gloves, black boots. That's the kind of riding I'd do if I was there. I could tell you that. 540s and 360s.
Well, how do you explain the fact that Kevin is so popular among other athletes? Like, if you ask, like, any of the Norwegians, like, who's your favorite, they kind of say Kevin is. A lot of them do anyway. Why is that?
I know, like, JP Walker would do that sometimes, like figure out what would work for the spot. But anyways, Kevin wears a lot of white, and it looks rad. And like that ollie right there, it's not crazy, but it's mini shred like trannies, and it's relatable because you're like, oh, maybe I could do that, if you're just more like an average guy or something. But he does it with so much flavor that you want to emulate it.
He's got that thrasher shredder style, like he's just going down the hill and ripping it up. Like yeah.
Okay, here's one more from Kevin.
This is intense. The nothing 1-footer.
Yeah.
The starfish,
So he basically goes off the jump. He's only strapped in with 1 foot, and he just like stretches out in the air. No grab, just kind of, aerial starfish.
but you can't take your eyes off it, right? Because I've never seen anyone do it. Everybody grabs indie, and it's like the norm. That's not the norm. He's slowing it down. Looks like he's just on a trampoline having fun right there. One-footed.
Okay, so how do you guys like size up kind of this how do you size up like the triple 14s versus the kind of the more simplistic approach of, say, Kevin Backstrom? Which do you guys prefer more? Which appeals to you more?
I like watching Mark McMorris.
Okay.
Okay.
And I like watching Mark do tricks, and I like watching Kevin just go kind of rip around,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about for you, Bjorn? Which do you prefer?
I mean, they're both appealing. The wow factor of seeing the triple cork and the quad cork, it gets me, but it's getting a little numbing right now. So I guess I'm more on the Kevin Backstrom tip. No offense to those other dudes. It just kind of feels a little stale, even though I know it's so extremely difficult to do those tricks. But, for the average person, I just don't think it translates. It's unrelatable, more or less. And we're doing a frontside 3. Anybody can, aspire to do that and do it with good style one day and go, hey, I did it like Kevin did it or whatever.
Yep.
And they can do it forever, like people who do quadruple corks and triple corks, once they're done doing them, they're not going to be doing them later in their life.
Right.
If you front 3, you're going to see a lot of 60-year-olds in the future doing front 3s, guaranteed.
I kind of agree with that.
That just sparked an idea. That'd be a sick contest. Like, if you're 60 years old, submit your 360 to the brand. Because I want to see a 60-year-old front 3. Like, who's like
Pappas is on it.
Pappas. That's all I could think of. Yeah.
That would be pretty ill. So I do have 2 more clips for you guys. These are kind of like from the snowboard project, I guess you might say. But this first one is from the Go Snowboarding podcast. I just love this one because it's Mike Arts teaching his like 12-year-old kid how to drive a car and they're going snowboarding.
That kid looks like he's like 7. What do you mean 12? He's
Okay, might not be 12 yet.
That's rad.
But yeah, Mike has got a little backyard park going on, so he gets to shuttle the kids up in an old pickup truck with a plow on it and teaches kids how to drive.
Dropping in out of the bed of the truck.
Yep.
Mobile drop-in ramp right there.
So that's part of the Go Snowboarding podcast. We have Jeff Pensiero, Mike Arts, Mike Bassich, and a bunch of other guys. The idea behind that show is to basically pass the mentorship on for DIY snowboarding and take people of experience and teach people who have ambition on how to do it. So that's kind of the idea. That's a little video Mike Arts put together for that. And the other one is the Splitboard project. We just released our first edition of that this week. And so that is like with Will Ritter from Spark R&D. He's the founder of Spark R&D and myself. And so we co-host that one. That is our first magazine-style show. And so the idea is it has long segments, short segments. We do everything from like gearing up for the season to a trip to Denali and cover kind of a bunch of different subjects. Did either of you guys check either of those out?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have.
What do you think?
Everyone.
I thought they were great. I especially like listening to Will and then the Denali thing. I know that Nick and Danny and all those guys went to Denali and basically rode top to bottom of everything, slaughtered the entire mountain like it was a ski resort, which was pretty cool to see. But and then just hearing Will talk about what he's got going with Spark.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun one. That's we'll do those about once a month. The Splitboard project, Go Snowboarding, will be about twice a month, and so we're working on some of those. But anyhow, just wanted to let people know that yes, we have a few other podcasts out there besides the Real Talk. Not all of them are video; some are audio only. That's actually where our biggest audience is. But just wanted to let people know kind of what was out there here from the Snowboard project. And I also want to thank both of you guys for coming on again and being the co-hosts here for another edition of Real Talk.